Why does he call himself Ham Lally Veta? I don't know how Pluck My Feather sounds any better. This guy really hates Mondays? Really? So let me get this straight. His name is Jaime Rivera? So let me get this straight. I could call you Lion if I translate your name in English? That's right, it's that time of the week. I am Jaime Rivera. This is Pocket Now, and welcome to our Pocketnow Daily Recap for last week. So last Monday I asked you what were your predictions for Apple's iPhone event. It was happening the next day and we had 298 kind of crazy comments, most of them nothing to do with the topic, but after a lot of censoring we found, for example, DRX894 saying, guys, calm down. Let the Apple people have their phone and let the Android people have their phones. At the end of the day, they're still just phones and there's no need to be upset. And man, 39 likes, there's a purpose for that. Ozera16 says, I'm waiting for the iPhone, I'm done with Android. No matter how many cores they put on the damn phone, it still lags, and for some of the Android phones in the market that is kind of true, but that doesn't mean that Apple phones are perfect. And then Andrew Hoffman says, iOS 7 will mean much more than the hardware, and you are definitely right. A lot of people, a lot of my friends have kept their old iPhones and they use iOS 7 and they tell me they feel like if they have a new phone, so that's kind of a consensus. And then on Tuesday, I asked you if you wanted the iPhone 5S or the iPhone 5C. The event had just finished, and we wanted to know which phone would you pick. We had 959 comments, and almost every single one of them looked like this. iPhone 5S, iPhone 5S, iPhone 5S, iPhone 5S, and that was kind of the reality in the stores. For every 10 iPhone 5Ss that were picked up, only one iPhone 5C was bought, which is really interesting. Then Mohammed Gamil says, I love the look of the 5C, though the A7 64-bit chip is revolutionary and the graphics on the new Infinity Blade are awesome, and yeah, it's been benchmarked against everything, absolutely everything, and the iPhone 5S pretty much blows everything out of the water. Then Bionic Tonic says, 5S is sweet, no more phone theft, and that's kind of not right. Look at the news today and you'll notice that people have already figured out how to crack the system and figure out how to unlock that 5S, so nothing's perfect, my friend. Then on Wednesday, I asked you if you were getting a Galaxy Gear or an iWatch, because the news were that apparently the iWatch was going to be delayed until 2014 because Johnny Ive's design was too difficult to build. 252 comments, out of which, for example, White and Nerdy Tuba says, the Galaxy Gear missed the mark and it seems a little rushed. If Apple does come out with a watch, no matter what your viewpoint is of the company, I expect it to be better through and through, with more features that you'd care about, not just more features, if that's what you were trying to say. And, you know, you're kind of right. Then another YouTuber says, waiting for the iWatch. If nothing, it'll push technology forward and a billion clones will come out later. That has been the story with the iPhone, it's been the story with the iPad, but it probably won't necessarily be the story with the iWatch, so let's stay tuned for that. And then Jimmy Ramirez says, Nexus Watch, and you know, after Apple cracked the code with the Chromecast and pretty much blew the Apple TV out of the water, I do expect for Sundar Pichai to come out with something compelling. And honestly, in my personal opinion, the problem with the Galaxy Gear is, seriously, the camera is something you'll never use, and then the watch is just so expensive that I'm just not compelled to buy it when compared to a Pebble. And then on Thursday, I asked you if you're waiting for the Nexus 5, since we have a ton of more leaks of what to expect from this phone, especially some high-end specifications and a very cool design. And we have 731 comments, out of which, for example, Conspire43 says, I've been waiting for the Nexus 5 since I got the Nexus 4, and yes, I stuck to the Galaxy Nexus precisely because of that, because the Nexus 4 was cool, but it was more of a price thing than anything else. And then Double Tap Production says, yes, I'm excited about the Nexus 5, if it comes to Verizon. Come on, Google, and no, I mean, ask Michael Fisher. Watch her after the buzz of the Galaxy Nexus, man. That Verizon Galaxy Nexus was everything but a Nexus device, precisely because you didn't get any software updates. Or well, you did, but very late. And then Sony TV says Nexus 5 equals Christmas present 2013, and yes, think about it. If these guys figure out a way to add the specifications of the LG G2, and then figure out a way to keep the price tag as the rumors are pointing out to, this is going to be the perfect gift for Christmas. I mean, this is going to be cheaper than any of the mid-tier phones in the market without a contract. I mean, it's going to be pointless to buy any other thing, and I mean any other thing. And finally, on Friday, I asked you if you pre-ordered the iPhone 5C or if you were waiting for the 5S because, well, for some reason the 5S was not available for pre-order and the pre-orders for the 5C happened that day. And we have 720 comments out of, for example, we got Jason Salazar saying, if you buy the 5C, you're dumb. You're buying a year-old smartphone turned plastic for the same price. Stupid, Apple. And, well, I don't like to call anybody dumb or stupid, but you do have a very important point. This is pretty much an iPhone 5, and if you do have an iPhone 5, it is pointless to pre-order the 5C or to get a 5C right now. Then Pixel says, I'll wait for the iPhone 6. The 5 is doing fine for me, and you know, you've got a really good point. If the fingerprint scanner is not important to you, if the camera is not important to you, why would you upgrade from a 5? Seriously. Then Proggy Joe says, I'm waiting for a frickin' bigger screen, not frickin' colors, and yes, half the planet is waiting for a bigger display on the next iPhone, but I don't think it's going to happen unless Apple figures out how to make that thing thinner. And then Hansei99 says, check out Nokia's UK Twitter feed. They made fun of Apple. They always make fun of Apple, and that's the sad story. I wish that their sales would be on par with the amount of times they make fun of Apple. But then again, Apple also did it to Microsoft years ago, so, you know, what goes around comes around. That's it for last week's Pocketnow Daily Recap. Thank you very much for watching. A couple of tips if you want your comments to be featured. Number 1, keep them short. Number 2, stick to the point. And number 3, try to get some thumbs up. Obviously, that makes them easier to capture. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw, and please follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow me at Jaime_Rivera at Twitter. Thank you very much for watching. See you on Monday for the next Pocketnow Daily, and see you next weekend for the next Pocketnow Daily Recap.